What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Coach Franco Breakdowns. And for today, uh, we are going to break down and answer the question na laging tinatanong sa akin, or a lot of people have been asking me this question for a very long time, and they still do. So I've been receiving this question so many times already. It comes in different formats, different approaches, and wording, whether it happens to a jiu-jitsu or MMA tournament that I attend. Face-to-face encounters during combat sport events. And then a vast majority of them come in the form of questions via direct messaging on my Instagram and Facebook page. So, at least for today, I want to answer this question in the simplest way possible, in the easiest way possible. So, the question will always go, paano po ba mag-MMA? How to MMA po? Paano ba magsimula sa MMA? Karamihan naman pala sa kanila uh, wants to know what are the necessary skills needed in order to learn MMA or mixed martial arts, whether it be for skill build-up or they want to start a fighting career. So I do my best as much as possible to answer each question, pero I end up saying the same answers. Kaya rin siguro I started to think to think that okay, I'll make this video para next time someone asks me that question, I'll just send them the link to this video para masagot ko na, para hindi na rin paulit-ulit. So, first things first. MMA or mixed martial arts for me is a combination of 2 to 3 martial arts or combat sports or fighting systems, and then you are going to roll them up into one symbiotic system that you will apply whether in real life or in the cage or in the ring. So, para sa akin kasi kailangan, it has to be 2 to 3. Okay, you cannot just have one and say it's MMA. So, this is just my opinion. Okay, so there are several other interpretations of what is mixed martial arts, how to do mixed martial arts, or how to train mixed martial arts. So for me, let's break it down into the the two major components of MMA. So you have your two components, your striking component and your grappling component. For your striking component, of course, this is your stand-up. Okay, so in as much as the statistics will always say that 80 to 90% of fights go to the ground, or they end up in a clinch, or you end up holding each other, 100% of fights start standing up. And you cannot do mixed martial arts without a standing component. So all mixed martial artists must have a high level of proficiency in the stand-up game. So the second component is, of course, your grappling component. Now, the grappling component is as important as the striking component because this is now the transition of the fight from a stand-up position wherein there is distance and you have to manage the distance to a point wherein there is little to no distance at all. So doon pumapasok ngayon yung clinch work, the controls, how do you utilize that distance, how do you utilize the cage, how do you utilize the ring, how do you make use of your surroundings, okay, in order to gain advantage and win the fight. So a lot of the skill sets na nasa grappling component will also help you finish the fight. So I just want to put it out there as well. I say this a lot. To some degree, it's like unpopular opinion. To some extent, unless you are really going to be an MMA fighter, in my honest opinion, joining an MMA program, like an MMA program without prior training, or you're going to start from zero, is a total waste of time and money. Kasi, ito lang yun eh. You are going to enroll in an MMA program. Any MMA program will, half of it is striking, a quarter of it, a portion of it will be grappling, a portion of it will be wrestling. So if you're a person who is going to start from zero and then all of a sudden you're going to dive into an MMA program, your progression will be slow. And at the same time, you will be a half-baked fighter. Kasi a little bit of striking, a little bit of grappling, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of another technique, and a pinch of some strategy does not make you a complete fighter. So I strongly suggest that you train a striking component, and then you train a grappling component, and then the the concept of mixing it together, the process of bringing everything together to work to your advantage will be your mixed martial arts skill set. That's why being a mixed martial arts coach is very, very hard. It's a very hard thing to do, and it's a very tasking and laborious process. Um, Dito sa Pilipinas, I could definitely say there are only a handful of MMA coaches. Let's go back to the question: how do you really train MMA, or what are the things that you need to learn in order to become a successful MMA fighter? So I'm gonna show you three things. Okay, yan. Kita mo yung daliri ko? Yan. Three, three, three. So these are the three skill sets that are requirements. And I mean, you really have to have these skill sets in order to be successful in your MMA career or in your MMA training. So we will go with the first one on my list, and that is boxing. Okay, boxing, or the sweet science. It is a requirement. Why? Again, all fights start standing up. So if you don't know how to utilize your hands, you're you're pretty fucked up. Yun na yun. It's that simple. Boxing will teach you how to punch properly. Okay, it will teach you how to manage distance. It will teach you how to utilize distance to your advantage. It will show you how to fight in angles. So when I say you fight in angles, you hit and then you don't get hit. Okay, you you are able to amount offense, and then you're going to utilize the skill sets for your defense. Okay, hindi yung makikipagsabayan ka ng suntukan, hindi yung tatanggap ka ng dalawa para makabitaw ka ng isa. That's like a wrong way of looking at things. That's a wrong. I mean, it's entertaining, pero it's very dangerous for the fighter. Next one is if you know how to properly punch a person and you have the right biomechanics, uh, it'll be a long career for you. You will be more durable. You won't hurt your hands. You won't injure your wrist, and you have probably paano ba to? It's all about longevity. Okay, it's not just about who is tough out there. It's also who could last longer. Next one is, this is very important for me as well. As an MMA coach, you have to learn how to wrestle. Okay, and when I say wrestling, it's your Olympic style amateur wrestling. So it's either freestyle or Greco-Roman. Why? Wrestling will teach you control. It will make you appreciate the value of using your limbs, your hands, your hips, the position of your legs, and everything technical about wrestling. Wrestling is very, very technical. It's it's a skill set that you only acquire through constant repetition. So what wrestling will teach you is control, knowing how to throw your weight around, knowing how to like control your opponents. Okay, so how do you utilize wrestling in your MMA? It's the clinch work. A vast majority of it will be the clinch work. So how you clinch standing up, how you will clinch against the ring or against the cage. How are you going to wall walk if someone takes you down? And if someone takes you down, how do you stand up? How do you create scramble situations so that you can create space for yourself? Okay, so ito yung mga bagay-bagay na matututunan mo during wrestling training. And at the same time, wrestling is a very fast-paced sport. So cardio will definitely be up. And ang maganda kasi sa wrestling, when it comes to the transitions, the scrambles, and yung dynamic movements during sparring, it's as close, if not better, than an actual MMA fight. So when it comes to the pacing, the cardio, how you will do your burst, how will you control the pace of any fight, you will learn that in wrestling. Okay, so that's why you will see at the highest level of mixed martial arts. So there's UFC, Bellator, IFL, ONE FC, PFL, the URCC here in the Philippines. You see that a lot of people who have a very strong wrestling background are very, very successful in their MMA careers. Because whatever it is that they went through during wrestling training is the same pace, the same speed halos when it comes to an actual MMA fight. Kaya very, very important ang wrestlings for MMA fighters and for those who really want to be serious in their training for mixed martial arts. And then the last one, the third one is, of course, Jiu-Jitsu. Uh, Jiu-Jitsu, whether training in the gi or training no gi, for those newbies, gi and no gi training, they're the same, okay? They're both Jiu-Jitsu. So now when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu, this is a perfect complement to your wrestling kasi when it comes to improving your positions, maintaining positions, applying downward pressure, control. If there's one thing that Jiu-Jitsu will tell you or will teach you when it comes to actual combat, it's maintaining control and applying constant pressure. Another thing that Jiu-Jitsu will teach you in an actual fight is being in control of the moment, remaining calm in very compromising positions, and maintaining your composure when it comes to high pressure situations. Ayan. So yan yung mga bagay-bagay na tinuturo ni Jiu-Jitsu. That's why it's very, very important for any and every MMA fighter to have a solid Jiu-Jitsu foundation. Another thing, of course, that will benefit you as a fighter with Jiu-Jitsu is, of course, your submission games. A lot of the submissions that you see on MMA fights are Jiu-Jitsu moves. Okay, so top of my head, of course, you have to have your chokes, your guillotines, your rear naked chokes, your head and arm chokes, your triangle chokes, and then from the bottom, your joint manipulation. So of course, dyan papasok yung arm bars, your wrist locks, your leg locks, your kimuras. Yan yung mga bagay na these are just a few of many submissions available to you when you're training Jiu-Jitsu. So what else? For me, that's the top 3. Of course, you can add in kickboxing, Muay Thai, a lot of other submission based na systems. There's a lot out there. Okay, sobrang dami niyan. But for me, those are the 3 basic components. Boxing will teach you how to get hit and not get hit. Tuturuan ka niya sumuntok. Wrestling will definitely teach you so many things about the realities of fighting. And then Jiu-Jitsu, of course, is a huge complement for that. So at least now with this video, you know my answers and this works for both the beginners. So for beginners, these are the top 3 skill sets you have to have, okay? Or these are the top 3 skill sets that you have to learn in order to have a better appreciation of mixed martial arts. Now, if you're a serious individual or a serious athlete when it comes to mixed martial arts, these are the 3 things that will more or less be the foundation of your MMA career, whether you want to fight in the amateur or professional scene. And of course, for the professional fighters, these are the skill sets that you have to polish because this will be your bread and butter when you climb inside that cage. Okay? So if I missed out on anything, drop a comment if you find value in this video, and I really hope that you learned something. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So I'll get to more of your questions. I'll probably compile them and then I'll like bring them all together. Medyo kalat-kalat kasi minsan. In all honesty, I do my best to answer them individually, but ayan, if there are so many questions that keep popping up with the same theme, I will pull them together and then create another video para mas madali sa buhay na para if someone asks me that, okay, I'll look into my video and send you the link, and then that will give you a better explanation of things. So again, I hope you like this video. Follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, just like my page. It's Coach Franco Rulloda. I'm on Instagram. It's at Franco Rulloda, at FrancoRulloda. And welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe, like this video again. So, okay, that's it. That was a pretty solid explanation, and we'll probably make more videos about this. So, thank you to Knots and Crosses. Thank you to Ikero Collective. Thank you to Nano Silver Philippines. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.